Guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and it's your favorite girl as always, Dorcas. Thank you so much for tuning in if you're a new subscriber, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. It's windy, there's a construction going on, but I am going to make this video regardless. On today's video, I'll be sharing my experience taking the IELTS exam in the Philippines as a foreigner. On the 28th of September, I took the International English Language Testing System test and I got an overall band score of 7.5. It was my first time taking the exam and I got a very good score. I took the academic test. When you're taking the IELTS test, there is the academic and there is the general. So you're going to choose the kind of test you want to take depending on what you want to use your IELTS test for. Usually if you want to work abroad, you take the general IELTS. But if you want to study abroad, you take the academic IELTS. I took the IELTS test for the first time because for you to come to the Philippines, you do not require to take an IELTS or any English exam. So I never took in my home country, Nigeria. Prior to taking this test, I was so terrified. I was so scared. People used to say so many things about the IELTS exam. I took few practice tests online. If you want to prepare for your IELTS test, I would advise you go on Google and just take the computer-based practice test online. It will give you an overview of how the IELTS exam is going to be. The academic IELTS is difficult more than the general IELTS. I come from an English-speaking country, and prior to taking that test, I had taken TOEIC in my school before I graduated because my school, mandated every student to take TOEIC, and I got 950 out of 990, which is a pretty high score. So I think if you come from an English-speaking country and you really know how to use your grammar, your tenses, like you're good in English, you won't really have a problem in your IELTS, because I did not actually study for my IELTS. I think I took practice tests twice or thrice and that was it. All I did was watch YouTube videos of people sharing their experience about IELTS, what they did, and just advice. So when I booked for the exam, there was no going back. It's either I take the IELTS or I forfeit my money. On the day of the IELTS, I had the exam with other students and other teachers and working class people.
Is there section 20 minutes or something? You can use cell phone here.
So what IELTS are you taking? Academic?
Yeah.
Why do you need your IELTS?
Study abroad.
What is your targeted band score that you need? 7. Me too. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Because IELTS is not only for students, as you may know. The good thing about taking the IELTS exam for me was my environment. So I took my IELTS exam at Cebu International Academy, where I am currently at. When you register your IELTS test with Cebu International Academy, you get to have a conducive environment that is free of noise for your exam. You get free lunch, you get free drink, you get to use the environment to while away time, you get to use the pool, because you don't take all your IELTS tests at once. In my own case, I took my reading, listening and writing tests all at once, which finished before lunchtime. And my speaking test was the last test and it was scheduled for 5:30 p.m. So imagine from 12 p.m. then you have to wait till 5:30 p.m. because the speaking test is individually. You don't know when others are scheduled for their test. Whereas in the other test, you take it all together with everybody scheduled for that day. I would say if you want to take your IELTS exam, register with Cebu International Academy. It is very important that you're relaxed on the day of your exam. When I took my exam, I found reading and listening to be very difficult. Because when you are taking the listening exam, you have to make sure that your mind and your head is free of any thoughts. If you make a mistake and think of something while taking the exam, you're gonna miss the question. People always say writing is the most difficult, but for me, I found listening and reading to be the most difficult. When it comes to reading, it's always difficult, literatures that you are not interested in. It is difficult to find answers out of those reading. Whereas writing, it's just your thought. You have to pour out everything in your mind, within the allocated time. And when it comes to speaking is just you expressing yourself. I learned that you don't have to really get the correct answer to what they are asking you. As long as you can convey yourself in English, as long as you can express yourself. You could even say, "Oh, I don't know," but just convey yourself, because the exam is all about testing your proficiency in English. At the end of this video, I'll be telling you what I got in each skill. Also, when you're preparing for your IELTS exam, I would advise that you register for the IELTS trial test that IDP IELTS usually organize. A day to me taking my exam, I registered for the IELTS trial test, which is an exact simulation of the IELTS exam. The way the exam is going to be held during the trial test is the same way it's going to be held, during the actual test. The questions are also IELTS, past questions. This will prepare you for how the actual IELTS test is going to be. But they do not have this trial test every time. So you have to send an email to IDP IELTS or Cebu International Academy so that you can know when the next trial test is going to hold. I got my highest score in my speaking, and that was where I thought I fucked up. I wasn't really expecting to get a band 8.5 in speaking, because I thought I fucked it up, but that happened to be my highest in my IELTS test. I got a band 7 in my listening and a band 7 in my speaking, and the least is 6.5 in my writing. As to what I did in preparing for my test, I did absolutely nothing. I'm not going to come here and lie to you that I was watching this, I was reading this. I did nothing, because I am quite confident in my English skill. I've been reading novels since I was a kid in Nigeria. I love reading novels and all of that. So I believe I have a total hang of my English. So I did absolutely nothing. So I think the IELTS exam is not as scary as people make it seem like. As long as you're confident of yourself and you've prepared well for the test, I think you're going to ace it. You guys might say that, "Oh, you have a very good score on your IELTS exam." Yes, I know I did, but my aim was to have a minimum of 7 in each band, and my writing was 6.5. So what I did was that I went to IDP IELTS and I requested for a remarking. So if you're confident of what you've written in your IELTS test, you can request for a remarking and pay a sum of 6,200 pesos for the remarking. They are going to remark your paper and get back to you. If your score is higher, they are going to refund the money back to you. And if your score is the same, you're going to forfeit your money. But I was quite confident of my writing, and even before my test results came out 2 weeks after taking the test, I used to tell my friend that I am very confident of my writing, that I think I will get the highest score in my writing, but that happens to be my least, which is sad. So I requested for a remarking, and I'll be waiting to get an update from IELTS. Anyways, that is my experience, taking my IELTS at Cebu International Academy in Cebu City, Philippines, as a foreigner in the Philippines. When it comes to taking IELTS exam, your score depends on what your aim is, what you aim to achieve. Anyways, if you have questions, let me know down in the comment section below, or you can message me on Instagram or send me an email. All my details are in the description box below. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, to this.